So welcome back. You are joining myself, Mammothsloth, back into Vigor, as you can see there. Name on the title, game on the title, basically everything's there for you. What we're going to do today, guys, is just jump into a map, try and attack some of the plays and the pieces, give you a bit of a breakdown of components, things to do. I would say loadout, but I haven't played the game enough to unlock all the further features, so we'll talk about how to unlock them. That will potentially further down the line aid definitely the development in terms of your loadouts, but a lot of that depends on what you want. Some people will shoot straight in, do a couple of quick maps, just try and loot near the areas that they load into, get the goods, drop back out and just try and build that up quickly over time. Other people are more, they're going for the kills, getting other people's loot, 6 and 2 3s really, which way you want to do it. But obviously the more that you can do on your base, which we'll have a little look around as well, that actually will then enable you to unlock future things, which will enable you to unlock better weapons, which actually will be beneficial to you when you go into a gunfight. Because if you go with the standard pistol, unless you're fighting someone else with a standard pistol, you are 99% times going to lose, just because the power of the other weapons is going to basically be stronger than yours. So it should load us nicely into my tarp-filled house. So one of the things we haven't overly looked at is behind you there is the shooting range. So if you wanted to go practice, as it says on the tin, practice what you want to shoot, try out some other guns, then the shooting range is there. There is also, as you unlock stuff, so I've unlocked a wood log here, so I might as well collect that. That's not generating anything now because it's full, so that will go back to generating. Come round the side and keep going round. This is a food transfer. Don't overly know what this does. It seems to be a bit of a charity box leaderboard. As you can see, I'm well out of there. I mean, I've donated 473. The first ranked person's donated 284,000. So close, but you know, let's put that 12 in there. That goes down and another one comes back up on the other side. And then up here, if you build the comms tower or the antenna, this one generates some doublooners, some coin, so it just ticks over, generating some money. But this is where that one's located. They're the only ones I've got up and running at the moment. Not really much else going on. However, pop down here, going on I would say the basement, but pretty lax. In here is your workbench. So as you can see here, reach shelter level 5. So let's just see what. Oh, lovely, less tarp, beautiful. So the bar right at the top is your shelter level. Kind of tells you, that's this bit here, that tells you well, what shelter level you're at. But the bit just above the circle now, bit above these bits here, tells you how many improvements you need to do to the next level up. And then the improvements consist of all these down here. Now obviously you can't do the ones that aren't unlocked, these will come further down the line. But what you can do is now unlock better workbench, crafting tables, wood log, there's a rat trap, I'll show you where that one is as well, that generates some food. I can now do a box of plants, which generates fertilizer, it looks like, and a box of herbs, which again, so that generates materials, that generates food. And then, as I was saying, the antenna generates crowns per day. At the moment I'm on 3.64. Then there's also this one reduces crafting time. So it's I haven't got enough glass for that one actually, so let's build this one, might as well. That's an hour. So that's basically how the crafting table works. What we'll also pop up and have a look at is Here we have your equipment, basically how you set your loadout. So at the moment I've got a shotgun and a Thompson, bandage, painkiller, and then the shotgun and the Thompson ammo. That's generally all I go in with, because I don't get into massive firefights where I'm doing a lot of health and healing. It's normally when I jump off a cliff accidentally. But as you can see, there are 4 weapons that you can go. Lots of space, but I try and leave that as spare as possible, because when you go looting, this is what fills up. So you don't want to go in with a full loadout, because that will basically mean that you won't be able to pick up anything drastic, like, you know, additional weapons and bullets whilst you're out there. So I tend to stick to a bit of a rapid fire, try and lay down suppression over getting in close. The shotgun, that is literally my tactics around there. But you can break this site down into the ammo, consumables, and deconstruct stuff. So the deconstruction is if you are requiring other areas to obviously create something. Now you've seen this page, this is the map. What I'm going to do is just X out of these areas just to show you where they are in the house as well separately. So the magazine is your shop, so obviously your doublooners, your crowns, if you want to go and get some certain items. So 35 minutes 57 seconds left of these guys are in countdown, and then I'm guessing the new one will refresh. The map, so to select where you want to play is obviously the map. Brings this up, which is lovely. And then upstairs, if you create it, the rat trap is here, so that's now going to start generating some more. If you unlock a crate, this is where you will go to. As I said, they're all on the main page, so any of these actually you can skip around, so you don't have to go to all of these, but if you wanted to go to them specifically, if not, right bumper literally just goes through everything that we've talked about there, and then the left trigger for the sub menus, and the right trigger obviously to go back and forth. So that is in essence the campsite, especially as I've got it built. I'm sure there will probably be, for example, when you build the garden, I reckon that's gonna, it very much looks like it'll be around here. So the surrounding area will improve, as does the look of your house. But for now, let us jump in. So don't forget on so the left of the white area where all the Polaroids are is your challenges. So fog of war, use a signal detector to spot 10 outlanders, loot 400 nails. Hi Neil, we've created 400 of you. Nails, and 5 machine guns. So actually, I don't know if how many I'll be able to craft, but so I can craft. No, I can craft because of the crafting table, but I haven't got an instant. So what you'll do is that will cost you that X amount of parts now, materials. Sorry. Now I've got 16,000, so you can craft that. It's queued. It's a 10-second queue. It's not a long one for that one. And what it will do is just constantly build it up. If you've got one where you've got the parts, it will create it straight away. And then the number next to it, actually, that could be quite helpful. So the spanner means that you can create it in one form or another, either instantly with the direct parts or through the crafting table, which takes 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 1 minute, depending on, that one takes 5 minutes, for example, so depending on the complexity of the gun. The number, so for example, I have zero of these knives, but I have 1 of these guns. So that's all the number above it is. You can create multiple ones. So again, submachine gun, craft it, takes away some of your materials, and then what you'll see, I don't know why I've gone back to the map for it, it's not counted that as a machine gun, but which is very interesting. I'm guessing they want the machine gun rather than a submachine gun. That's fine, makes sense, clues in the title. But that is pretty much the breakdown of generally speaking, it's your loading page, it's your home hub, it's what you can do around the place. So what we will do now is just park ourselves over the lovely scenery, and then we'll probably go and jump in one of the maps, and I'll tell you about some of the pages and the screens that you can get in on the maps. So what we will do is load in to church, as I've called it, because I'm not bilingual. I would not want to cause offence by pronouncing that completely wrong. So I've just called it church. We're going to load in here. We will have a little play around in terms of the map and get the unlock so that you can see the rest of the map. We have seen a fair bit on this map, but it's good to unlock everything while we can. But also what we'll look out for is, well, that's okay, an interesting page there. What we will look out for as well is the special blue locations on the map, just to kind of give you guys a bit of support there, and what they do. But also we will break down and look into if we come across any loot boxes, how you unlock those. What you'll see here, so just under where the encounter starts, is the trigger. But if you see these two characters here that I'm just highlighting, they've got blue icons, so it looks like they're playing as a pair. So we are all playing solo, they are playing as a pair, so they are going to be a stronger team because they can obviously look after each other's back, which it does make it interesting, but it is where we go. So let's break this down for you here. We'll go to the Bard House. So Bard House is where the safe is. Safe is always in there. Oh,
set yourself a simple goal.
the map back up for you. Signals detector will highlight where the other enemies are, and then you've got your church, but the comm station, that is actually going to highlight specifically where the airdrop is going to come in. So what it does is it actually moves it a little. Once the airdrop's in, you can't move it again, but it just helps you give a bit more of a precise location. So Lonely Man's resting place. Just going to risk it for the Bard House for you guys here, just to see if I can. Okay, we'll go this way to it then. Show you the safe, just show you how the unlock mechanism there works, because it does take its time. It is highlighted on the screen when it's being started to be unlocked, and therefore there are two guys up there, can see them just jumping about. So it is likely to highlight where people may come for you. Now they might be going.
The Bard House is hard to enter, but contains valuable loot.
Team killer looks like one of them has just killed his teammate. So they were playing as a pair, but it looks like oof, that was a terrible shooting by me, but he did have the high ground. So I won't show you the Bard House. I will drop out of this quickly for you and load back in to show you the Bard House. That is the advantage of not going in with much, but also having the high ground. So the reason I'm brought back in here, so obviously on that last one I did absolutely terrible, got my backside handed to me. So what you'll see here is the loadout's gone, so that does mean if I was just to go straight into another game, I'd have lost, or I would have started without any weapons. So if you do die in that situation, it is always worth just reloading a little gun at least, even though I was bloody terrible then. I don't know, I've gone for the same gun just because I had more. But yeah, just a kind of reminder that if you do die, which I do regularly, it's worth just picking up your loot again just to get that back. So one of the pieces I didn't explain last time is this part down here. So More loot. Says you're running around. More loot. Better crates. So the crate drop that comes in from the airdrop is better. And insurance. So that one is the only one that affects you. So these two, if you put in, that is better for everyone on the map. So there's more loot on the map. Anyone can pick that up. Better crate. Whoever gets the airdrop gets the better crate. Insurance, as it says there, is just for you. It means if you die, anything that you've picked up is safe unless you pick the airdrop, but then that will be dropped back to them. Right, so we're miles away from the 3 today, so let's head that way anyway. Try and get back to the barred house and show you the safe. It might be unlocked by the time we get there though. So again, just looting is just a matter of getting to it and pressing X. You have to look at it, as on this game your camera has to be at it. It's not just a character near it, you have to actually look at it, which adds a good component to a kind of a risk element. So someone has got to this signal detector here, and it just temporarily highlights your location to the person that's there. Wow, as if I just injured myself jumping over a rock. So normal loot is, as you've seen me do there, is just kind of go up to it and press the X. The little dots will indicate where stuff is, such as there. Oh, nice shotgun and some shells. Hey. Change. Sorry, yeah. So, your left bumper is your medicine, your right bumper is your guns, and then your right analog stick will change between them. X is reload. Sounded like someone out there, but I think it was me. The sound effect sometimes a little bit delayed, just to make you question yourself a little bit, like your move. He's aiming, and he has a big gun. Wow. So I don't know what gun he had, but absolutely took me out. So again, we'll try to show you the safe. I just saw there, I don't know if you just saw it as the screen came up. It said safe is being unlocked. That in essence is someone had got to the barred house and had started to process the unlocking of the safe. I'll try one more time. If I don't get to it, what I'll do is I'll explain the process, because potentially there's more chance of that than me actually getting there.
Greed can cost you your life. Be careful when looting, and always watch for danger.